H3 podcast, the wicked, evil viewers of the H3 podcast, wishing people harm, wishing women harm, wishing mothers, sisters, daughters harm, all of the incel energy infesting the interwebs right now.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to the Hexing of Kaceytron here on the H3 after party in a parentheses unofficial. Welcome, welcome. Please come in, have a seat in the sacred circle. Kaceytron was not an option because I forgot. Please come in and have a seat. This evening we are meeting as the witches of H3 to bind Kaceytron against harming us, harming others, harming herself. We already see her wicked magics at work in the ways of electricity. What with the stream going down today, and now my fuse is blowing. I'm not gonna lie, she is a powerful witch with her single dollar store candle and her box of salt. But she knows not who she messes with. She messes with powers far beyond hers. Because Ethan has witches too. So tonight, please, sisters, brothers, siblings, light a candle. Light some incense if you got it. Smoke it if you got it. We are going to bind Kaceytron from doing any further harm to any of us. Let me turn down the stream deck just a little. There we go. Center yourselves. Yes, candles in chat. We love that. Cigarettes count. And here we go. First, we're going to cleanse our space. Little Palo Santo here. Got nice smoke going on this. And we will say the cleansing prayer for our sacred circle. There we go. This sacred space will now be free and cleansed of negativity. This sacred space will now be free and cleansed of negativity. This sacred space will now be free and cleansed of negativity. Blessed be all that I have placed within this pure and sacred space. And now we call the corners and light our candles. Hail to the North's elemental tower. Honor this rite with your presence and power. Hail to the East, Northeast, yep. Hail to the East elemental tower. Honor this rite with your presence and power. Hail to the South. Hail to the South's elemental tower. Honor this rite with your presence and power. Thank you. And hail to the West's elemental tower. Honor this rite with your presence and power. Now, we are here, as I've said, for a very specific reason, to bind Kaceytron. And usually we do that by taking a picture, a photo of the person, a lock of their hair, something that belongs to them, and wrapping it in something, putting it inside of something. So they are physically bound. Since I don't have a printer, I dug into my closet and found a fossilized joint from probably 3 years ago. This seems like even better than a photo of Kaceytron, right? I think this will work better than a photo. So we are going to use this. Oh, my familiar is here. Hello. We're going to use this as the embodiment of Kaceytron. You're going to burn your whiskers off, mofo. You're not going to want that. Okay. So we're going to say 3 times. And then we're going to drop it into this little velvet bag. Also, my candles are black. I bind you, Kaceytron, from doing harm against yourself, and harm against others. I bind you, Kaceytron, from doing harm against yourself, and harm against others. I bind you, Kaceytron, from doing harm against yourself, and harm against others. We also have a prayer request. Mother, these cats. What is the plan? What was the plan? They're tweaking at the flickering candlelight on the ceiling. I also received a prayer request from one of our coven members, Witch from PA. Obviously the craft. And Witch would like to add a prayer to the circle this evening, and I will read it now. Please bow your heads. Growing up Catholic really helped me become a witch. I call upon the deity Talia, the ruler of art and culture, also presider of comedy, to which we say, audio, 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 audio. To open up our blessing, may we contain this misfortune, cease it, and re-gift it tenfold to sender. We wish peace and love to all with good intentions, and for demon mode Ethan to take his mortal form to show those in the dark the infinite light. This is very poetic. May he love the capital H on he. Yeah, we're never beating the cult allegations. You're right. May he show them true comedy. I close this reversal with angels unto every chatter in this room's body. For with your energy, we have reversed this curse with positive intentions. Okay, and now we can bind these spells and close the circle. For the greater good of all, and with harm to none, these spells are bound and won't be undone. By the power of 3 times 3, as we will it, so mote it be. Peace and love. Now we will close up, we will send our corners home. Farewell to the North's presence and power. Crackheads. You may return to your earthly tower. Farewell to the East's elemental tower. Farewell to the East's presence and power. You may return to your airy tower. Farewell to the South's presence and power. You may return to your fiery tower. And lastly, my favorite, farewell to the West's presence and power. You may return to your watery tower. We did it. We did it, y'all. We have sealed and bound Kaceytron against doing harm. And hopefully, I know this is like, you can't pay for this kind of ambiance, this aesthetic. So that is, with that, we close our circle. And now, well, I need a minute to fix the lighting in here. So I will be right back, friends. I will be right back. Hey, we back. We back. I don't know what that was about. Who likes the new song? This song, and some others that you'll hear this evening, you might have heard one of them at the top of the show for the waiting music. They are both by Mo Podna, who is a very talented music maker. Their link is in, both links are on my description to their SoundCloud and their Spotify. They just reached out to me. I'm not entirely sure of pronouns, so I'm going with they. They reached out to me on Reddit and just wanted to make some beats for me for the show. And so I really, really, really love them. All I said as inspiration was I'm going for a Y2K theme. And so we have some awesome music for the show. So shout out. Huge fan, huge fan. Oh, thank you, Witch. Thank you. Yeah, so go check out Mo Podna on Spotify and SoundCloud. Oh, but BJ, I did pay them. They can say that, but I did. And they would never. I told them they were not expecting payment. And I said, listen, I'm a creative first. I pay people who make things for me because as a writer, I have done so much writing for free. I would never, ever, ever accept creative work from someone without paying them at least a little something. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, totally topical. But I just want to be transparent about it. You know, want everyone to be aware of everything that's going on. So yeah, shout out to Mo Podna. I have a very serious message for AB, and I hope he sees this. If you have something that feels like it's in your eye and you can't get it out all day, you very well might have scratched your cornea, and continuing to flush it and try to get something out of it is making it worse. When he said he couldn't open his eye, I was like, this has happened to me. This has happened to me. Please, God, go to a doctor. A couple years ago, when I was in Philly with my sister and my niece and my mom for my niece's scans because she had cancer. She's fine now. She's a wonderful, strong little kid. On the way down, I was like, oh man, I got something in my eye. I gotta like figure this out. I got to the hotel. I was like trying to rinse it, doing all kinds of stuff. By the end of the day, I literally blinking and even just having my eye closed hurt. And then so I had to go to the ER while we were there to be at the children's hospital. And I had a circular hole in like right over my pupil, like a normal size pupil hole in my cornea. It was the worst pain that I've ever felt. Yes, fuck cancer. I don't know how it happened. Everyone was like, do you know how this happened? I was like, I have no idea. Genuinely have no idea. I just woke up and it hurt and I thought something was in it. And yeah, I couldn't do anything. I literally had to walk because when I went to the ER, they don't give you anything to numb it because if you numb it too much over time, it can fuck with how it heals. It can just like ruin your cornea, I guess. I almost stole some of those drops because it was the only time I got any relief. I literally had to walk like this because I couldn't, blinking hurt so bad and I couldn't open my eyes. So they gave me like some antibiotic drops, but really you just have to wait for it. So I was like, it took weeks. It took weeks for it to heal properly. And then it was kind of like scarred for a bit, but now thank goodness it's fully closed, but it was horrible. So please, AB, if you see this, if you think, if it's still bothering you, get it treated before you make it worse. Because I wonder if it was a little scratch and then all the shit that I was doing to like panic and get it out was what really screwed me. Yes, and I have re-injured it. Like it did like weaken my cornea for a long time. And I still once in a while, if it's like really, really dry and I'm like woken up really quickly and my eyes like spring open, I can tear it a little bit. Hang on, let me put live chat on so I can see y'all. Wait, what's Alex the Fiction saying? I see the girl, but where's the microphone? This one? This one? It's here. Yeah, eyeballs are so bad. Honestly, I said then, and I still feel this way, if they had been like, there's nothing we can do, we have to take your eyeball out, I would have been like, please do it. Don't even numb me, just take it out. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. And yeah, so, and the same kind of thing, the same cornea thing had happened to my sister while she was in the hospital with her daughter, like, and they were finding out that she had cancer. Her 9-month-old daughter, my niece, like, was flailing around, right, and just sliced her cornea. And so that happened years ago, right? And I was with her for that. We had to go and find like patches and things like that. So then for it to happen again, like on a trip to get scans for this cancer to me. So now both of us constantly have like the cream to like help your eye when this happens. Cause it's like a corneal edema and then it can like tear your cornea. So there's the medical update. I was not joking about my fuse blowing. My wife had to go down and put it back on while I was prepping for the show. It was literally like 10 minutes before. Do not fuck with your eyes as a general rule of thumb. Yeah, 100%. Okay, we have a couple cute things at the top of the show here. First up, we have, here it is. All right, let me open it. So someone got me a cameo, and I don't know who they are. I don't recognize their name on Reddit. So if you are in the chat, And you got this cameo for me from none other than Uncle Gabe. Let me turn my camera back on here. That was for the effect before. Thank you so much. This is so sweet, and I love it. So let's play it here.
Kate, fuck. Congratulations on all your success. Ooh. On the show called the H3 After Party. Ooh.
Oh my God, I love him so much.
You're really funny and good. And Kate, God bless you. And I wish you the best. Congrats on your successful show, the H3 After Party. And fuck yeah. Hopefully it's going to grow and get very successful and get all these ratings to blow. Kate, good luck and God bless you, Kate. You're the best. Just keep being funny and good, and all your success is gonna pay off. You're the best, Kate. God bless you. Cheers. Fuck me, fuck.
Fuck, baby, fuck. Oh my goodness. So thank you to whoever did this. Woo! I have no idea who put that in. Like, thank you to the user. I don't know if they want me to say their name on here, but shout out to the person who slid into my DMs with a cameo from Uncle Gabe. That was such a nice little surprise. And if you're here, thank you, girly. Thank you. So that was really awesome. Another thing that was from a show last week is the meme that I made, which ended up on Ethan's stories, as y'all may have seen. So this is what I made last week when we were talking about Mike from PA, and he was like bragging about Hasan having more viewers than Ethan, like it was his own channel. And so I started off the sing-along with "No one streams like Hasan," and then people added to it, and I was dying. So this was great. Excuse me. No one streams like Hasan. No one screams like Hasan. Holding Nazi swords. Nobody beams like Hasan. And his talking points are all real irritating. My, what a guy, that Hasan. And then we have my favorite. This is like the second verse. And I tell all the Jews they're hallucinating. So shout out to Uncle Rufus for that one. If you haven't seen this, there's just so much talent in the comments. But this thread is like where all the actual music is, and it's so good. It's so good. So thank you for ad-libbing along with me, for improvising along with me. And yeah, if you have a verse to add, feel free to go ahead. Oh, the coven needs to do a ritual for Gabe's dad. That's such a good idea. Yeah, it was fun pulling out my witchy stuff. I used to be in a coven with a couple of my friends. That was really fun. So I haven't done anything like that in a while. And like smelling the Palo Santo again and getting out my little grimoire. It was nice. It was nice to do that with y'all. Oh, thank you, Jessie. Thank you so much. I don't know why it's not popping up here. I am sick of its shit. There we go. I'm sure the next one will pop up. Thank you. Video game controller hobbies along. Wait, hobbles along unhappily with a broken arm. I don't know what that means. It must. Oh, I see. It's the emoji. Gotcha. I was like, what is it talking about? Oh, we're going to talk about Hasan. Trust me. Because the stuff he said about ISIS not attacking non-Muslims, I take that very fucking personally. And we will see why. We will be talking about that at the end. Also, this was another great thing that I saw on Reddit that I don't think that they discussed. And it's been a few days now. So I wanted to just share this. I just love this. I don't know who this is. but it's just a lovely sentiment. So it says, shout out to Ethan and H3 for helping me come out and leave MAGA. I used to be a hardcore Christian conservative that was very active in the church. I used to consume all the BS alpha male stuff on YouTube. It's amazing. And believed some insane shit. For a very long time, I questioned my sexuality, but never felt comfortable pursuing it because it would betray my beliefs and the beliefs of my peers. It wasn't until I saw Ethan and H3 talk about and treat members of the LGBT community with so much kindness and respect that I started to feel comfortable with making a change. This is so sweet. This is why this shit matters. Like, this is why having allies that are publicly open and honest and affirming is so important. Because it's showing that outside of this person's like echo chamber, there's a world where people are like totally cool with gay people, you know? Long story short, I came out at 20 and now I'm engaged to my boyfriend and we have 2 kittens, and I want to thank H3 and the crew for being a big part. How did I not like this yet? For being a big part of it. If it wasn't for H3 and the community, I highly doubt that I would be out here living my best life. I've tuned into every show since January of 2022, and I pray Ethan continues to be a little diva forever. Peace and love, peace and love. Oh my God. I love when people get to live their best gay life. I'm so glad that he was saved, ironically, from the hatred of the Christian church, like the evangelical church. That's just so wonderful to see. And I know that I'm glad Ethan was a huge part of it, but Diva, so were you. Like, having the ability to like open your mind a little bit more, even though it was scary, and letting yourself explore, even if it was just online watching videos, you know, you were able to come out a lot sooner than you would have if you weren't at least looking into that stuff. So definitely definitely a joint success there. Yes, definitely Pride Minute. Actually, I think this kind of sounds pretty pridey, right? Is this the one? Pride Minute. Let's go, incels. Get on your feet. Woo! So thank you so much. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to the crew. Oh God, that was a harsh stop. Sorry about that. But shout out, back in the closet. Shout out to the crew for helping this person see that there's a world outside of all that crazy, terrible hatred, you know? Ethan Klein, the capitalist, cares more about his employees and the well-being of his employees as opposed to Hasan, the socialist, who is absolutely a bona fide hypocrite and a liar and a scumbag. He is such a fucking liar, and I'm really, really upset specifically today about what he said. But yeah, I'm just gonna like keep talking about that, but not talking about it. So there we go. That was some of the stuff from the top of the show, and now we can get into the main story. They're lying. H3 fans don't have partners. It's true. My wife doesn't actually exist at all. Just in my mind. Yeah, so first thing I noticed was timestamp boy. The timestamps are all off. I'm assuming that's because the power went out, right? It seemed to be like a 5 or 6 minute, like, miscalculation there. That's, yeah, whatever to that. But that made my job a little bit harder today. And I will say that I know a lot of people are sick of the Hasan and the Orbiter's arc, but let me tell you what I'm sick of on this show. The fucking superhero chat. I am like just so not into any of it, then I'm like, this is not of interest to me. I would rather talk about Hasan for another 100 years than talk about Superman, whether Superman's a Nepo baby or not, or and just literally any of that. Literally any of that. I would rather talk about anything else. So I was like, can we please move on? I do my best to avoid all of that shit. Shop time. Both of my cats are trying to climb. Can you see them both? Are trying to climb. Can I move this so you can see him a little bit better? Mr. Orange. Oh, look at him. There we go. So, so there's that. Obviously the biggest shit show of the entire episode, I would say, was the fact that the Nelk boys interviewed Netanyahu. Like, it's one thing that they did it, right? It's completely another that this was considered to be some sort of legitimate interview for a head of state to do. Like, this goes to my point. This goes to my point about journalism today and the fact that the people in charge do not know anything about the internet. And so journalists and scumbags like the Nelk boys, Steiny included, can get away with shit. Because if they have a rubber stamp from someone like Trump, who also doesn't understand the internet, they're going to get to interview world leaders? Like, are we fucking joking? Like, no one vetted these guys? I don't expect our government to vet them. But like, no Israeli government officials thought to look into these people? Like, a check mark from Trump is all they need. I mean, I know that they're not good people either. Bibi's government, but like, that just seems so strange to me. That seems so strange. The fact that they admitted to knowing they were being negligent in interviewing him because they couldn't combat Israeli propaganda is nuts. Exactly. But they don't care. They're not journalists, right? This is all they're just doing everything that they're doing because they can. Like, literally that they're allowed to, right? So they're just gonna juice as much as they want with no actual regard for what's happening in the world or how this interview is going to impact foreign, like, perception of Israel and the United States for another generation, because they have all these like little shit-stained boys watching them. Like, how much time, I genuinely don't know, how much time is Hasan devoting to talking about this? Hopefully a lot. Because these are the people who are really going to fuck over any progress for the Palestinians. The very popular streamers who are putting Netanyahu's fucking propaganda on the internet for a generation of young men who are just coming up and will be able to vote soon. Hasan was talking to them on Kick afterwards? What? Had them on his stream to fucking say what? Hasan and Nelk Netanyahu. I'm just looking on Twitter to see. Nelk boys. Hasan explains to the Nelk boys why he would be a better candidate to interview Netanyahu. Let's just fucking watch this bullshit. Oh, that's for later. Hang on one sec. Here we go. Yeah, that's up next. We'll talk about the murders. Okay, so...
And going to the interview with Hasan, which I think it's funny. I think it's funny that you haven't watched yet, because you're going kind of ham on us and you haven't watched, which
Well, I mean, first of all, that's classic Hasan, right? It's classic Hasan to criticize people without watching their shit. In this case, a blind squirrel has gotten the nut, and they deserve it, right? But a lot of times, He's doing this to people whose content he should be watching, right? Right. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this light. Okay, let's keep playing this shit.
No, I understand.
I haven't had the opportunity to watch it. I was
No, I understand. You're busy.
to it.
But what I
I
was gonna
haven't
say
had
is
the
that,
opportunity to watch it.
we did
What are
talk
you
about it. We did
watching?
talk about it.
Literally, what are you watching as someone who says they care about what's happening in Gaza? That is more important than some of the top streamers in the country, specifically with a demographic you pretend to care most about. What is more important than watching these people interview a fucking war criminal? I wish I had the time to look up what he's been streaming today.
About Hamas. We did talk about a lot of these things.
I know, but just simply talking about
Hasan, you can't speak to this because you haven't watched the fucking interview. How are you going to say that you would be a better candidate to interview someone when you are coming into this confrontation having done no fucking research, as usual? Like, what are we talking about, bro?
it without having the proper knowledge and the proper equipment to be able to push back when he's lying only turns it into an opportunity for him to, like, why do you think Benjamin Netanyahu did this?
No,
He
we
did this
agree
Of course,
with
no,
you.
we agree with you. We're not. We know that.
Bro, that's the reason anyone does a
He
podcast.
used you guys, is
But
what
I don't know if that was
He used you
necessary.
guys
I don't know
and
if it was
your lack of
necessarily.
knowledge.
By the way, this is all the stuff that Ethan said to them beforehand. This fucking light is driving me crazy. Right? Ethan said all of this shit to the Nelk boys beforehand to try to get them to stop it. But do you think that's something as a hardcore genocide loving Zionist would do, is try to talk these guys out of it? I look like fucking Violet Beauregard. I'm going to wait a second until it gets back to the pink. This is so annoying. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Maybe it's this one that's really blue. I don't know what's going on with my lights. Anyway, would a hardcore Zionist do this? Would a hardcore Zionist have tried to talk the Nelk boys out of it, told them that it was just going to be pushing propaganda, told them that they should be more informed and not just be a vessel for this? Doubt it. Doubt it.
Knowledge on this issue.
I don't know if that was necessarily successful though.
Yeah, that with Kyle, I agree.
I think everyone's
mean,
seeing
it
what
would be-
Trump did, and Hasan, after the whole election, the whole story was how podcasts won the election, blah blah blah. That was every story. Like, I even did a bunch of interviews on it too, and I think obviously.
Wow, bro. Okay, then what's this?
Promoting a genocide.
Bro,
That's
yeah.
the point.
The Nelk boys reached out to Hasan for his insight on the backlash they received for interviewing war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu isn't promoting a book, he's promoting a genocide. Okay.
Hasan, anyone
True.
goes on a podcast, promote whatever they're doing. We're
Yeah,
aware of
but
that.
they're not. But Benjamin Netanyahu's not promoting a book, dog. He's promoting a genocide.
Bro,
That's
we
the
have-
And maybe if you had like shown up to the interview with some information, you could have had a better conversation about this. Right? You could have shown them places that they could have done a better job. But of course, that's not what you did. Oh, here he is. Here he is blowing his own load.
100%.
No,
Sure, you could have pressed him a little harder.
There's a difference, though. I'm well equipped to have a conversation with Benjamin Netanyahu, because when he says something like,
I cannot imagine having the kind of false confidence to be like, I am well equipped to interview a war criminal or any like world leader just because I'm a fucking streamer who talks about what other people write and cover in the news. I think anybody, any actual journalist would be nervous and unsure that they had what it took. to interview a war criminal in the middle of his war crimes. Unfucking believable. Thank you to the folks in chat for pointing that out. Oh my God. So yeah, he sucks. Yeah, his hubris is unreal. I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it because people are just sucking his dick all the time, right? It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. All right. So what I wanted to talk about is first they were having like a little bit of a discussion on the show about who has killed more, right? Either Putin or Netanyahu. Because of course, Hasan and that ilk, they kind of love Putin, right? They don't seem to really give a shit about all the people dying in Ukraine, right? It's Netanyahu is the number one criminal of all time. He has done worse than anybody else, right? There is no one as bad as Netanyahu. He is the evilest man, right? And to be clear, I agree that he's fucking evil. I think very few people qualify as evil, and someone who can do what he's doing and then like sit on a podcast, I think, yes, he's fucking evil, right? So I decided to ask ChatGPT in Ethan fashion about the body counts literally on either side of this, Vladimir Putin and Bibi here. So here's what they said, and I did put in like a clarifying question. Because there was something that Ethan said that wasn't reflected here. So they gave me a lot of information. They said it's difficult to quantify definitively, but here are some of the estimates. Under Vladimir Putin, and all I hear is the frickin' Steven Seagal thing. His total, so Putin's total is up to 300,000 deaths or more. And they said that this is an approximate and a conservative number. So it's definitely within this range and probably more than 300K. For Netanyahu, we have 40 to 50,000 plus deaths. Again, approximate and conservative. I mean, we know most of the stuff happening right now. 38,000. Over 38,000 Palestinian deaths, and then Israeli deaths, 1,200 from the Hamas attack, plus hundreds of soldiers since. So that's already well over 50K, right? But it's still not necessarily on par with 300,000 plus. Could be more than that, though. Or, I mean, it could be within this range, similar to Netanyahu. So, I mean, they're both absolute fucking ghouls, right? And then I asked a question. I said, I see a source that says up to 1 million people were killed in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Why is that not reflected in your totals? And this is why. Because it's not fatalities, it's 1 million casualties. Because I was going to say, that is so many people who died in Ukraine. So 1 million casualties in the Russia-Ukraine war. Unlike Ethan saying that it was 1 million people that were killed, over 1 million people were either killed or injured. Roughly 80,000 Ukrainian soldiers and 200,000 Russian soldiers killed, plus hundreds of thousands of wounded. So there you go. It's wild any of them could talk to a war criminal and remain calm. But yeah, because they don't understand the gravity of it. Can you imagine like 3 of your friends just dying? We throw around these numbers and they're so huge, but I at least keep track of how meaningful and insane they are. I mean, it's like, it is really hard to feel the numbers, right? Like, I think one of the most powerful protests I've seen against the genocide in Gaza was when they lined up all the shoes. I think it was in Washington, D.C. Let me see if I can find it. Like the shoes for every child in Gaza who had died. Oh, it was in the Netherlands, Dutch protesters. Let's see. That's where it was. Ugh. So they did it in like the big square. I believe this is in Amsterdam. Let me just pull it up here. So yeah, this was early on. This is in 2023. And so they lined up 8,000 pairs of shoes to draw attention to the Palestinian children killed in Israeli attacks on Gaza during commemoration event. Oh, this is in Rotterdam, not in Amsterdam. So yeah, this is the kind of thing like that helps to quantify it. Yeah, the piles of shoes at the Holocaust Museum. I was thinking that too, like he totally thought they were too stupid to know what a psychologist is. Yeah, like there's fucking, he knows they're morons. Just unreal. It hurts to think about any parent mourning their babies. Like literally it's, and then to think of the scale of it. Our brains were not meant to process this level of trauma, truly. It hurts me to think about it, but it is necessary. Yes, we have to keep it front and center, right? But also, it's hard to do that, right? It's hard to do that. And also, like, if you exhaust yourself with that, you aren't any good to anyone. Like, honestly, there has to be room to be like, to recharge because other people can't. Like, we have to keep going and we also have to rest because there are people who can't. And when they're burnt out, we need to have fresh legs. Do you know what I mean? And that doesn't mean to opt out of paying attention. It doesn't mean anything, but it means this is a marathon, not a sprint, and everyone has to work in waves, right? So we do need time to like step away if we can, because there will be a time when we can't, right? There will be a time when something happens that is so close to us that we cannot get a breath. Like, I started thinking about this when my dad passed away a long time ago, in 2007. And like, when I would find out that people friends of a friend's family members had passed away, like I would allow myself the ability to like step back from it and not like take on all of the emotion of it, you know? Because I was like, I know what it feels like to not have the room to do that. I know what it feels like to not have the room to do that. So I need to be able to just like back out because yes, I have the privilege to do that, but use that privilege to like be of service, you know? Our brains literally learn to dissociate because of how heavy these types of issues are. Exactly. Like a cosmic relay race, we pass the baton of empathy and action from one to another. Exactly. That's beautifully said, Jake. You know? And even in those moments, I'm like, I'm grateful that I have the space on this one. I know that that's not always going to be the case. You know? I'm grateful that I have a little bit of the space. Yeah. But I think that is a problem that the online left is having about this, is that none of them are fucking resting. They are just burning themselves out on outrage and despair, and because they don't want to be seen as a genocide supporter, right? Because there has been this like scapegoating of anyone who literally has anything to say that like negates whatever path is that the leftists have chosen online, right? And so to look away, to take a day off, to do anything for yourself, to even talk about your own experience, like ContraPoints did, that's all considered selfish. And that's something you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to look away. You're never allowed to stop. It's all a distraction. You need to keep focused and keep sharing photos and keep looking at photos and keep looking at videos of dying children with their heads blown off. Like, if you stop doing that, then you love genocide. And that's not fucking sustainable. That's not sustainable. That's how you all end up burnt out and just attacking people in every direction instead of like having the brain space and the presence of mind to like stay focused. The people in Gaza don't have that privilege. Use the fucking privilege you have. You know? Oh yeah, they just started attacking Miss Rachel. I saw that too. Unbelievable. So yeah, they're dumb and we know that. We know that. Fucking Hasan. I mean, it's like, it's not that I can't believe he immediately tried to piggyback on that shit. And also, like, his ilk will shit on Ethan for having Steiny on the show, right? But when Hasan does it, he's being altruistic and he's, you know, he's taking time out of his busy schedule to educate these boys, right? He is seen as this like father figure who can do no wrong, when Ethan is having the kind of conversation in a different way, in a less condescending way, but still having the conversation. That is not allowed. That you get shamed for. It's a self-congratulatory circle jerk for a lot of them, desperate to farm internet karma. That is something that I have said before. I said it before the election. I was like, okay, so is your
got mail.
Oh, thank you, Witch.
/S gave $1.99. Lesbian rant later?
Do we have a lesbian rant? Is there something you want to rant about? Because I'll fucking rant about anything. But yeah, so before the election, I posted a video about the fact that, like, it seemed to me a lot of online leftists and leftists that I knew in real life were choosing the ability to sleep at night over doing the hard thing and voting for someone they didn't 100% agree with. To me, it was a cop-out. It was an easy way out to do the thing that felt morally correct. But nobody wins in that situation except you and your conscience. And that is exactly what happened, right? But now they can say, well, I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for Biden either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is most important here? You chose patting yourself on the back over doing something that might make you look less anti-genocide, which to normal people, it absolutely fucking didn't. I saw some people bitching about the WNBA again, complaining about their shirts that said, pay what you owe me. Oh, God. I do want to talk about that. It won't be tonight because I want to look up the numbers, because men love to say stuff like, oh, the WNBA is subsidized by the NBA, and it hasn't been in like 20 years. But I need like the actual facts to talk about it. But yeah, we'll definitely get a lesbian tangent on that soon. It's immature to think there will be a candidate that will 100% cater to your ideals. Exactly. And so then at the end of the day, if it's not about harm reduction, right? If it's about principle and about a protest vote, then what happens? You know you don't have the numbers to do anything except give the election to a Republican. So why are you doing it? So you can say that you didn't vote for a genocide. Because that's the goalpost, that's the bar that someone set. Someone decided if you vote for Democrats, you vote for genocide. And then it was like mob mentality of, oh, well, I can't. Well, now that if I vote for Democrats, then I support a genocide. It's not fucking true. It's not true. Right? But the shaming just worked out so well. Did you see the Truth post where Donald Trump compared himself to Superman? Oh my God. Yeah, just like Hasan. Jesus Christ. Okay, and to that end, we have Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, talking about his relationship with Biden versus his relationship with Trump. As if we didn't already know.
But he cuts to the chase.
That's about Trump. Oh, he's just such a straight talker. Literally lies about fucking everything.
You know, he cuts through the BS.
Did you have any type of relationship with Biden?
Not the same. I've known Biden for
Biden.
What is it, 40 years?
I hate to say this, but does anyone else see Javier Bardem in this guy? In his voice and also his look? Am I the only one? That's all I can see. I'm sorry, it's true. Ethan had the convo off camera and before the interview happened, which is substantially more helpful to the cause than publicly pontificating after the damage is done. Exactly, Manola. Hasan just slides in there like, that should have been me. I should have done it. I'm more equipped than you. You children don't know what you're doing. Like, who does that help, bro? Who does that help? No one. Except you and your fucking ego again.
Almost as long. Well, both of them. Over the decades, it was a different relationship. It was a friendship, but also it evolved into
lovers.
How shall I say this? Severe disagreements.
Severe disagreements. So the relationship with Netanyahu and Biden devolved into severe disagreements. I wonder if that happened around the time that Israel started trying to fucking crater Gaza. But these leftists online would have you believe that Biden and Netanyahu were best friends, that they were just keying out here, and that they were just doing exactly what Trump would have done, right? It sucks to be this right. Because in this situation, what benefit would he have about lying, about his relationship with Biden? And how do these severe disagreements not matter to the left, right? Nothing is good enough. They're also starting to again cannibalize AOC, I saw. It's just insane. Oh God. So let's see. The actor in No Old Country for Old Men. That is who I see. Hang on, let me look him up. I'll pull up a picture of him. 1 second. Javier Bardem. It's really like that he sounds like him, I think. More than he looks like him, but I can see it. I can still see it a little bit. Like here, I can really see it. Open image in new tab. Let me pull this up here. I'll show you guys. Camera 1. Oh, not you. Camera 2.
Hi.
Oh, hi, child. Yeah, so that's who I think he looks like and sounds like more than anything. And yes, specifically No Country for Old Men would be the appropriate reference for that. I know I need to get YouTube Premium. I'm working on it by avoiding doing it, but I definitely will. And thank you to everyone who has put into the YouTube Premium fund. I totally appreciate you. So next up, they had the Ganzfeld procedure, which was like a total flop, sadly. But they couldn't have known that.
You've got mail.
Cheyenne gave $4.99. Hey girl, I am rewinding RN, and when your cat popped up during the witch time and you pulled out the joint, I'm in pain from laughing. Ha ha ha.
You've got mail.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Bibi gave $1.99. Premium fund.
Thank you so much. I will get it. I will get it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys so much. Yeah, thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you, K-Boo. I wish YouTube gave us one free membership like Twitch does. That is pretty cool that they do that. Well, AOC was kind of valid, but
You've
it was...
got mail.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Witch.
S gave $1.99.
The cat in the background. Yeah, thanks, guys. I think they're both sleeping now. Are they sleeping underneath me? One of them's sleeping underneath me. Okay, so next up, the Ganzfeld procedure didn't really work, but it does seem like it's a way to like get a good nap in. Seemed like everybody, or Lena and Olivia both went in there and had like a sweet nap, and we did get this sick meme format now from Olivia. So I love that for us, and I love that for her that she got a little snooze. Lena's was interesting. That was the only one. I mean, I guess I wish they'd done more, but there wasn't really time because it took so long for them to do it. And I was hoping more people's would be like Lena's, right? Where she talked about, seeing her grandma, seeing the stuff she saw when she was in the hospital with her grandma was very, very interesting. I don't know what the Gateway experience is. Getting YouTube Premium is Kate's eel pit. Shut up. Kate, I think it would be a good idea if you were to seriously consider opening up YouTube channel memberships for the channel with membership badges and emotes for chat and comment section of the video. I am thinking about it, and my thought is if I get to 10K, if I get 10,000 subscribers, I think at that point it will be worth it for me to open memberships and make the extra content and make the incentives. You know what I mean? Because short of that, I don't think I'll have a ton of, I have a day job, right? Like I have a job that I have to do every day in addition to this stuff. And so I want to make sure that we are both getting something out of the membership process, right? And that it's not just y'all giving money and me not being able to keep up with the incentives. You know what I mean? I want to be able to kind of use the membership as like the next stepping stone to hopefully work for myself eventually. You get money, we get content, fair trade. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, to give you more content than I already make means I have to spend even more time making content. Right now, I'm doing it essentially for free, except for, of course, thank you for the super chats, right? And I've done stuff like this before, right? And so I am learning that I need to balance the time things take with the value. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to be in a place where I'm exhausting myself, but not growing, and not growing in a way that can help me hopefully transition out of working for the man. We got to give her a break. She has a day job. Thank you so much. So I'm trying to navigate it. And so I've set in my head, okay, at 10K, I will start the memberships. And it'll just be one tier. I'm not doing anything fancy, but I do have content that I am already thinking about doing there. And one of them, of course, is the story time of things that have happened to me, which, by the way, we already know that they are watching. Pandemonium says, I've been monetized for 4 months on my gaming channel, but AdSense has fucked me every time. I get above the $100 payment minimum. What do you mean? I think we're all witnessing a big channel in the making, y'all. Thank you so much. That's really, really sweet. Growth. Yeah. I really need to think about growth. I love doing this, and I wish, every time the stream ends and I'm sitting there, chaptering things and, cutting stuff up or looking at analytics, I'm like, I wish this was my job. I wish I could stream multiple times a day, doing different things, had the time to do cooking streams and going out in public and doing more things and doing more mukbangs. I wish I had the time to do all of that, but I don't yet, because I still have a real job. So I need to just grow this first sustainably. And right now that looks like 10K subs and then members. And my plan is this fall to take a week off of my real job and stream every single day, multiple times a day, to give all of y'all lots of fun content besides H3 stuff, and to also see like what times of day are good for filming or streaming, and what kind of content do people really want, and what totally sucks and falls flat. Like I need a dedicated week to grow the channel, and I don't have that right now, and I probably won't this summer. So I'm thinking the fall. And it'll be cooler in this room that's not air conditioned, so I can do a bunch of stuff. Girl, chill. You're going to be famous like really soon. Calm down. I do want it. This is exactly what I want. This is exactly what I want. Thank y'all so much. So yeah, I'm trying to do the slow thing. And this is faster than anything this is almost faster than any time I've grown. Like I grew my Instagram channel just off of going viral, right? So that happened really, really fast. But then nothing happened, right? Like I tried to start doing stuff here on YouTube, but nobody gave a shit. Like nobody came from Instagram. So then I took a break, and then I was watching so much H3, and I realized like that's a passion for me and people want to talk about it. And there isn't a place to do it. So why don't I take like something that's actually popular in a place where people want it and see if I can do it. So this is like the second or third, because TikTok too. TikTok, I have like 700K, but that doesn't mean anything on TikTok, and I never post there anymore. So like this is like the third platform that I have like gotten some momentum on. So I kind of know the pitfalls, and I'm trying to avoid them. I don't want to do things too fast, right? Like when I first went viral on Instagram, I like made merch and all the shit. Like I did all the stuff that people think you're supposed to do, right? Made merch. I got like a PO box and was like promoting all these other people's shit for free that they were sending me, right? And then it was kind of veering into like not being a creator but being an influencer, and that's just really being a fucking billboard, right? And I was like helping all these other people and helping all these nonprofits and raising money for wonderful things, right? But I was still exhausted because I was working all day, and then I was doing all this shit all night for free. And I do still consider that channel like a big part of community service that I do. But I would like to work for myself. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Witch. How do we get more H3 fam to watch these streams? I mean, the best bumps that I've gotten have been when people post on Reddit, or obviously when Ethan has shouted me out a couple times.
Yeah, she's really funny and good. Check it out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, King. So that helped a lot. And so my plan is just to keep making content that people want to share. Because I have a point of view, right? I'm a woman. I am educated. I have a job. I'm gay. Like these are all the things that people don't think of when they think of an H3 fan. I'm almost 40. So I have a POV, and I think I'm just going to keep trying. So yeah, I felt gay. That was based on what they told me. So, I mean, if you like the stuff you're seeing, you are welcome to clip it. Take a screen grab or whatever you want to do and clip it and put it on Reddit. I do not care. That would actually help a lot. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We need to post the hex from this stream on the Reddit. Feel free. That's totally fine. It's really upsetting that people like Hasan, who sing that they are morally superior than anyone else in this space streaming and have such a high opinion of themselves, it's disgusting. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. I think it's very easy to amass a huge audience when you offer simple solutions to complex problems. And also being mean and farming outrage. This is all very popular because it it plugs into like our basest instincts and our basest fears, right? And I've never done it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a fucking debate pervert. I don't want to be like Hutch or Destiny or any of these other people. And the thing is, like, I know that I'm a fucking delight. And so I'm glad that I've found something that is letting me have fun with people. I'm curious about your census data. Are we mostly elder millennial femmes? I would guess so. But I don't know. I see a lot of dudes in chat. A lot of these LA streamers, they seemed very, very fake and very disingenuous and very insecure with who they are. It is almost like a Mean Girls Club. Exactly. And I have no interest in that. Like the actual like YouTube aesthetic is so uninteresting to me, but I do like talking about my opinions. And that started out as being a writer, right? And writing opinion pieces and things like that. But this is the medium now. And also I've always done stuff on camera. Like when I was little, my friends and I would make movies and TV shows and commercials and stuff like that. Like I've always loved this stuff. So it feels like everything I've tried and everything I've done over the past like 10 years has been leading to this. That is how it feels right now. And it's really exciting, but it is really early. So I'm trying to like take a breath and do it sustainably and just make shit that I like to make and have fun doing. All right, let's do some more because I do have to be on set tomorrow for my final day as a background actor in my friend's movie. So yeah, the Ganzfeld procedure, there wasn't a ton of great information that came out of that or entertainment. Except we learned that Olivia wants to be a reality show producer, which I think could be really cool for her. And I was saying, here is Olivia talking about being a reality show producer. And there's a little something in here that I thought was very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good. I really recommend.
Do you have an idea for a reality show?
Something like that. Something where it's like strategic. You're like you give them something to do, tangible, that is out of their power. Like if they have something they want to do, like go for this single, but they're forced not to. They have to deal with the emotions and the strategy of it all, and it's so good.
Do you think we could make our own reality show?
I think that would be like my dream.
First of all, Olivia would be an amazing host for a reality show, especially like a dating or romance kind of version of things. But when Ethan said, do you think we can make a reality show? Let's see what else he says about it.
Might be worth the investment, you know?
I think it'd be awesome.
Let's do a bisexual Love Island.
Done.
I'm here for bisexual Love Island for sure. But just Ethan talking about First we have the creator clash thing, right? That we'll talk about in just a second. And now the the idea of investing in making a reality show and like really producing other kinds of content. It feels like these things are percolating for him. And I love that because I've been saying to myself, obviously, because I wasn't on here before. But when he would bring on smaller streamers or talk to smaller streamers about things and sort of give them tips about how to stream or how to do this better or blah, blah, blah. Like he could have like a full blown H3 Productions. That's not just the show, right? Like he could diversify and have smaller creators under him, under the umbrella of H3. And I'm not saying this selfishly. It's not something that I don't care about it being for me. This is something I've seen for a long time, and it feels like the right investment because he cares about the kind of content that is on YouTube, right? Like he's always been a commentary channel about like how shitty a lot of the content is on YouTube, right? But if he were to invest in smaller creators that he really enjoys and thinks are important to the ecosystem of YouTube, he could boost them, get them a bigger audience, and then, take a share of the profits. So he could have like these smaller channels running, and this might allow him eventually someday to retire, right? because he would have like this passive income. Not that he needs more income, right? But he could transition into more of like a consultant, like a consultancy. And that could even be something that Zach and Dan transition to if the show does end up going away, right? Like, imagine Zach passing on like his sound lad knowledge to creators who deserve it, right? Not like the fucking Jack Doherty's of YouTube, right? And then maybe that would finally start tipping the scales of like what kind of content is consumed. Because finally, like, good content would have money behind it. It would have the money that Ethan has and that he's built from doing quality content. Yeah, like a network. It would be like a network, essentially. He's floated the idea before. I mean, I think it's a great idea. He's probably somewhat wary of other creators after Trisha and Hasan. I get that, but this would not be people who are already like super established. Right? And he could do the vetting. I mean, it's so easy to find out when people have fucked up before. He said he got offered shows in the Frenemies era. I don't know about Cody Ko. I don't really know anything about him. He's always been against doing more than what he does now, but things seem to be changing and we love that. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he wouldn't have to do much more. I mean, he would hire a team. And they would do like the production, right? It'd be his money. It'd be his checkbook, right? Oh, BBT. Wasn't he part of something like that? He had to sue them to get back the money. That was BBT, I think. Yeah, that was like for connecting with brands, I think. That was great. That was a great moment. The issue is that creators keep doing dumb stuff that would cause them to be dropped. Yeah. I mean, and then it's like, okay, can you get to them before they do something dumb? That's also hard, right? But having like, even if it's not like a full-time thing or like, he's not like signing people to his label, there could be like, a YouTuber incubator program, right? Where younger people, where newer people are given some like lay of the land and ways to avoid getting a copyright infringement, right? And things like that. Just like teaching them about YouTube and how it works. And maybe that's a first step. And then that is a way to find the talent that you want to invest in. Oh shit, I forgot to do my overlay for this because this came out of nowhere. 1 second. Ethan, these are free ideas. These are free ideas. Good Mythical Morning has had a good track record except for Matt Lieb. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously risk, right? There's risk that he and his team could assess. But to me, I think the benefits to the YouTube ecosystem could be huge, right? Because it would be real creators who are interested in making cool shit, putting their thumb on the scale and fighting back against like the clickbait and the rage bait and like the kid content and all that shit. It would finally be streamers and content creators with money reinvesting in YouTube to help change the future of the platform. I think that could be really cool, especially because Ethan is so principled about it. If he was just a streamer that liked doing his job and making money, that would be fine. But he talks so much about the lack of quality content that's being surfaced, right? Like looking at what's trending right now. So that's a free idea, King. Content House. Ethan is honestly petty enough to buy out CC and run it. That would be hilarious. Well, we can move on to that. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, this is something that I've thought about for a while because there is so much knowledge. How did this fucking happen? Knowledge. there's so much knowledge in the crew, right? And in Ethan, I mean, not just technically, but now legally, right? And I think there could be like a group of creators that are doing really cool artistic stuff that that Ethan could help. And maybe that's like the next phase. Maybe that's when he retires or whenever, but it could be really cool to see H3 become a network for like the next generation to fight back against the crap that's out here. So those are my free ideas for today. An art collective, but for podcasts, yeah. Where it's not just about like squeezing every cent out. It's about putting out like really great content. And it could be like a diverse group of people doing all kinds of different things. So there's that. That's my free idea for the night. Okay, so let's talk about Creator Clash now. Unfortunately, it does sound like well, we'll just let Ethan talk about it. So last we heard, Ethan was interested in buying Creator Clash if his Instagram stories were any indication, and even Dad was ready to go in on the deal with him.
After I tweeted this, Dad reached out to me and he was like, "Are you being serious? Because I want to get in on this."
Did he really?
And I was like, "Listen, Dad, I know I would bring you on if I was being serious.
This is Nathan.
But I don't think it'd be worth it for any of us." But Nathan is out here making a desperate plea to the
Yeah, so we watched the Nathan video last time. So unfortunately, he is not serious about buying Creator Clash. We had a lot of great free ideas about it on the last stream. And it makes sense. Like, they'd be buying something where they're like in the hole, right? And it would most definitely be a money pit. R.I.P. Philo. Where's Philo? You know? So it wasn't ever serious, but I still think we came up with a lot of great ideas that can be mined for other things. What I didn't know was that Keem talking about it came before Harley. That was interesting to me. And then Ethan saying, "What if me and Keem buy it together?" We called it, guys. We knew he was thinking about that shit. And Tom Ward wants to do it too. It's just crazy how everyone's jumping on it. So here's my question for you. Because I'm going to put this up and then I'm going to go and pee. Let's start a poll. Why isn't this not working? Oh, because there's already one up there. Duh. All right, so y'all think Dan did that. All right, here's the next poll for tonight. Should Ethan buy Creator Clash or a Chuck E. Cheese franchise? Because I have not forgotten about that. Okay, CC, Chuck E. Cheese. All right, y'all vote on that. I'm going to go pee because I've had way too much water. BRB. Okay, I'm back. Let's see what the verdict is. Wow, close one. I'm going to leave it up. I still think he should buy a Chuck E. Cheese franchise. Oh my God, 50-50. The content for CC purchase would be gold. That's true. Wow, I didn't expect to have like a full like download of my hopes and dreams for this channel, but thank you for being here and watching that. I appreciate it. We need to let the mods chat while she's in the bathroom, like the crew while Ethan's in the bathroom. Ooh, Discord chat? I could pull that up. I mean, yeah, we can figure out some cool stuff. I would love to do more like the call-in stuff like we did with Alex and Witch. Like I think that's a really fun thing to do. I'm way too dumb for that, guys. I love that. Okay, let's talk about the alphabet song before we get into Hasan being an a-hole, because I have a lot to say about that. Thank you for subscribing, Robert. Okay, so on the show today, the crew talked about this new alphabet song that is purportedly, supposedly being used in schools now. Okay? Here is the crew singing it so you can get a taste for it. They did a wonderful job.
At least the Wall Street Journal is. And now...
Oh, wait, what the fuck?
This reporting has come out.
Girl, what? Hang on. That's the wrong timestamp. One sec. That's next. That's for Epstein. Hang on, everybody. Let me see if this is the right one.
Original is better than the first time we...
All right, here we go. We got it. All right, here we go.
Feels better, yeah. Let's all do it together.
It's just wrong to end.
1, 2, 3.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
Who can't sing on the crew? I'm just realizing in my headphones now that someone is completely tone deaf with peace and love. Who is it? I don't know who can't sing. Zach can obviously sing. I feel like Dan can carry a tune. Ethan can carry a tune. Olivia's a beautiful singer. Is it AB or is it Love? It's Love.
Yeah.
3.
A, B, C, D, E.
It's right there. That's where things fall apart.
E, F, G, A.
Ethan is okay if he picks the right octave. He's okay if he gets the octave right, and if there's other people singing with him.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O.
It seems to me like AB or Love sounds like Love, a bit of both. Yeah.
O, P, Q,
No.
R, S, T,
It's fine.
U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Only losers can't say it right. Dan's leaving in a rage.
Yeah, the L, the M, N, O. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. The point of the first alphabet song is that it rhymed. Okay, I'm gonna put my flag in this and say that this is just rage bait. This is not, in my opinion, and y'all can weigh in if you have children, if they are using this alphabet song in their school. Because I have a feeling this is not actually being taught, at least like not consistently, right? The woman who put this out works for or owns a phonics business. So to me, she's trying to go viral. Like I've seen this version of it come up a few times, but if you know anything about like the actual American school system, it's that it's not a fucking system. It is a clusterfuck. It's like how Boston is not in a grid. It's all these like windy, confusing roads because it all used to be cow paths, not roads. It's a mess. It's a shit show. I don't see there. It's kind of impossible that this song would be taught everywhere all of a sudden in a school system that is as disorganized and as uncentralized or decentralized as the American school system is. I mean, are y'all hearing it in different schools? Because I will say the only current evidence I have is firsthand is my niece, and she knows the regular alphabet song with LMNOP. My favorite thing, though, is that she says QRX instead of QRS. It's just very cute. Kids hear the alphabet song in media, it would be confusing. Exactly. Yeah, this is to change the alphabet song. As a teacher, like there's too much going on for that to be of any use to you, right? And the idea that, like I said, the idea that something like this has permeated the hundreds of thousands of schools across America and become the new way that everyone is now mad and afraid about. The fact that it's permeated and the fact that it's been standardized to any degree just shows people's complete misunderstanding of the lack of organization and standardization that exists in America, in our school system. Like in a smaller country and in a country that's like interested in education, things are standardized at like the federal level, like in France and in Finland and Sweden and in a lot of European countries and probably others, but those are just the ones that I'm familiar with. You know, curricula are determined at the federal level and disseminated throughout the country. In France, for example, I worked in a French school, and so I have a lot of insider information about that. You are basically you're a civil servant if you're a teacher. You go to the school that they choose for you. You don't just teach wherever you want. If there is a shortage, you lose your privilege of teaching where you'd like to teach. Specifically, like for overseas schools. They will call you back. They will revoke your permission to leave. It's called a détachement. It means you're like detaching as a civil servant and teaching overseas. And they will bring you back and they will put you in one of their schools. I think there might be like a seniority aspect or like it depends on like the timing of shit, but yeah, you don't get a huge say in where you go. It is intense. And then there's the new math thing, which to me is like the same. It's like the same kind of thing where there's this like fear that this new way of learning that parents don't understand is coming in, right? So yeah, we don't have that. We don't have any kind of standardization of any kind at that level. Like things are barely organized across like a city's kindergartens, right? Let alone the state, let alone federally. Like definitely not federally. Depending on the state, like some states have much better education systems, like California, Connecticut, Massachusetts. There you might see some standardization across the whole state, right? But for the most part, it is a complete free-for-all. It is a complete free-for-all, city to city, town to town. And so while the order in which an alphabet is taught or the amount of time spent on learning the alphabet might be something that's sort of standard, teaching it with a song is something that is probably done at like, it's a decision made at the teacher level, right? It comes down to the teacher because the teachers here tend to have a lot more freedom than in other places. Bye, Witch! much. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the extra spell tonight. Good night. So yeah, that was rage bait for sure, engagement bait. Don't be worried. The alphabet song, it's not going anywhere. Like AB said, they use it in multiple languages, even with different alphabets. Okay, I'm gonna skip to. I was gonna talk about JD Vance, but who fucking cares? Who cares about that shit? I want to talk about Hasan. Okay. So recently, apparently, Hasan decided to say just bizarre shit about ISIS that nobody asked. Specifically, he seemed to imply, of course, while keeping his hands clean, because he loves plausible deniability, he decided to say it was kind of weird that ISIS only kills Muslims and doesn't attack Israel. And I'm just saying that's kind of weird. So let's just watch him say that silly shit.
This is one of the craziest things I've seen him say in a long time. And I'll just play it for
Which is saying something, right?
you, and then we can discuss.
Okay. On the other hand, you have obviously ISIS, which is this terror cell that seemingly never attacks Israel and only kills Muslims. Weirdly enough, okay? Don't know what that's about. I'm not going to point any fingers here.
You don't know what it's about because it's not fucking true. Like, you're trying to act like you know something or that there's some conspiracy going on.
Yes, he's serious.
Has the American forces actually defended ISIS at times? Yes. Has Israel defended ISIS at times in Syria? Yes, they have.
What the fuck is he even talking about? Okay. So, like, what exactly is the insinuation, Hasan? What exactly is the insinuation here? That ISIS is an agent of Israel, that they're paid to kill Muslims? That they're not actually trying to set up an Islamic state, that they're somehow working for the Jews? Yeah, he's making a conspiracy that Israel controls everything, right? It's so lazy. Not a false flag, but a perfect false flag, right? Yeah, they talked about it on the show. It's like, yeah, it sounds very Illuminati. So to me, it's like absolute insanity. And I just wanted to show some things here, right? Ethan mentioned that obviously ISIS kills more than just Muslims, right? So here is an article. This is from the University of Minnesota, and it is their Holocaust and Genocide Studies program within the College of Liberal Arts. And so it's this document about the different people, basically it's about the mass violence. Let's just read the title: Mass Violence and Genocide by the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Okay, this is just in those two places, and these are all the different kinds of people, the different ethno-religious groups that ISIS has killed. Yes, some of them are Muslim. A lot of them are Muslim, right? Specifically, there is the schism between Sunni and Shia Islam. And they are radicals on the Sunni side? So they tend to target the other, it must be Shia properties, including Shia Shabak. Properties were marked with the Arabic letter R, referring to the derogatory term used to describe Shia Muslims. So they're Sunni. ISIS is rooted in Sunni Islam. Of course, Sunni Islam is not like terroristic at all. They are extremists, right? So yes, they target Shia Muslims because the narcissism of small differences to like the nth degree. But that's not the only people that they have targeted. They've targeted Christians in Syria, right? The Yazidis, and that was who Ethan mentioned. Almost 200,000 fled to the mountains, but quickly became besieged by ISIS. Let's see. 5,000 Yazidis have been killed. Many mass graves have been identified, and more are yet to be found. According to the Yazidi Rescue Office in the Kurdistan Regional Government, ISIS kidnapped 6,417 Yazidis, of which 3,451 have been rescued, and almost 3,000 remain missing. So we know where they probably are. And they're also just orphaning families, and it's just like, yeah. They're an ethno-religious group who practice a religion with elements from Christianity, Islam, Zoroastrianism, and Judaism. So these are not Muslims. Yazidis aren't Muslims. The Syriac Christians aren't Muslims. And neither are the Chaldeans or the Assyrians. They're all Christians. Then we have other victims of violence, obviously, throughout the region. So yeah, no, obviously Hasan is wrong, and I don't even understand why he lied about this. Like, it's all, to me, it just feels like it's all virtue signaling, right? Like he's trying to make sure these talking points get in. But like, why is this talking point important? It's like when he was criticizing or pointing out that Trump was, when he was responding to ContraPoints, and he pointed out that she had mentioned ContraPoints' fear of Trump when it came to trans issues and trans rights, he literally did not even take a breath before blaming Biden for the policies that Trump has been enacting to disenfranchise trans people. Like, literally, it was one sentence. I'm not just saying this because, you know, she mentioned that Trump is really bad for trans people, which, by the way, Biden started things, and this is just following them to the logical conclusion. It's like he has a gun to his head, and he's saying this shit, right? So that is just that document, mass violence and genocide by the Islamic State. That's only in Iraq and Syria, right? But ISIS's violence goes well beyond the Middle East, right? I want to talk about, well, first of all, if you are from France, if you have family in France, I'm about to talk about Le Bataclan, the attack that happened in Paris at the Eagles of Death Metal concert. I'm going to keep it vague, but I just want to say that I'm going to talk about it. So content warning. Do with that with you will. Feel free to skip ahead. So I take Hasan saying this, Hasan saying that ISIS only kills Muslims, very personally, because for 8 years I worked in a bilingual school here in America. It was a French-English school filled with French people. We had French teachers. We had French teaching assistants. We had, obviously, French kids, French parents, right? From all over the region. I mean, all over the country. And 10 years ago in 2015, ISIS attacked a concert in Paris. In addition to that, they set off, some of the ISIS members blew themselves up outside a soccer match and then also at a cafe. So I was working in a French school when that happened, and our day, the school day was winding down, and I was the after school director. So it was after school around, like, you know, between 3 and 5 p.m. At the same time, 6 hours into the future, right? 6 hour time delay or time difference. This shit is happening in Paris. Gunmen have taken over a concert and killed like 90 people. Just as these French parents are coming to pick up their kids, as French teachers are leaving the school for the day. When I say it was like watching another country go through 9/11, there was like so much panic and despondency among the people. Teachers and parents were just like stumbling and crying and shaking and trying to get a hold of people that they knew, their family members, their friends in Paris. Just trying to contact people to make sure that they were okay, because they didn't know if they were at the concert or the cafe, the specific cafe, or if they went to the football game at the stadium in Paris. And that went on for days and days and days. So here are the victims of the attacks. Like I said, there were 90 people killed at the concert, but there were 130 people who were murdered in one night. This is all of them. It's pretty impossible that this many people, that this group of people are all Muslim, right? France as a country has a Catholic and a Protestant background. Still majority, I think it's still majority either Christian or secular, and majority white. Born in France, not Muslim. These are all the people who died. It's impossible that all of these people are Muslims, especially in such a big city as Paris, right? I'm sure these people are from all over the world. They believe all kinds of things, believe in no God, multiple gods. Certainly some of them were Muslim. Like this person from Algeria, a virtuoso violinist who came to hone his skills in Paris. Algeria has a, I think they're a majority Muslim country. He could very well be Muslim, right? We don't know. But ISIS took responsibility for these 130 people, and this is just one of the attacks, right? In 2015, and around that time, there was also the targeting of the markets in Germany, right? The Christmas markets. Christmas. A Christian holiday. So to sit there and say with the kind of arrogance and confidence that Hasan always has, no matter what, that a terrorist group that has been inflicting violence worldwide for 10 years or more, for over a decade, to say that they only kill Muslims is insane, and it's irresponsible, and it's disgusting. The implication is disgusting. And it's dismissive of these people. It's dismissive of these people's deaths, of their lives. And it takes their deaths, it erases them in the interest of some weird fucking anti-Western conspiracy. So here's the next thing I wanted to show you. This article is from The Guardian. It was written by Emmanuel Carrère, who was one of the journalists that sat through the trial of some of the some of the secondary thugs who were part of the planning process of the attacks on the Bataclan, the Stade de France, and the cafe. There's a Stade de Paris, I don't remember. There was a decision made for that trial that they would limit, basically, that they would limit the traumatization of the jury, the jurors, and the people in the courtroom. They didn't show a ton of really violent photos and imagery and videos from the attack. Although if you were online that weekend, you saw a lot of it because a lot of it was up for a long time. I can still, like, in my brain see the empty concert hall the next day with all the lights on. And you could just see, like, the fucking, like the blood streaks across the floor of people, like, dragging bodies out or trying to drag people to safety. Like, that is burned into my brain. But this was one of the things they did show during the trial. So I'm going to just read this and let me know if this reminds you of anyone or anything you might have seen recently. The video put out by the Islamic State, ISIS, claiming responsibility for the attacks would be shown, however, in an expurgated version. What the fuck does expurgated mean? Let's look that up and find out. Instead of being like Hasan and pretending we know what it means. Oops. Having had objectionable or unsuitable matter removed. Oh, okay. So yeah, they limited what exactly was shown from it, but I'm sure they got the gist. But expurgated or not, its sheer atrocity leaves one speechless. Filmed, edited, and set to music, like a Hollywood blockbuster or a video game, it shows the 9 lions of the caliphate, the future Paris suicide bombers, the 9 terrorists who died, training on a rocky landscape, probably somewhere in Syria in the summer of 2015. So, just a couple months before they killed all these people. They know that in a few months' time, they will kill and die. For now, they're beheading prisoners. In this video that is filmed, edited, and set to music like a Hollywood blockbuster or video game, or a music video, they're beheading prisoners, 1 each. And not only are they beheading them, some laugh as they do it. However awful its message may be, propaganda generally presents a virtuous face. Normally, propaganda hides horror. Here, it puts it on show. Islamic State doesn't say this is war. Sadly, for good to triumph, we must commit terrible acts. No, it lauds itself for its sadism. It uses sadism, displays of sadism, and the permission to be sadistic to recruit. Now let's talk about this part. And I can see that some of you have already found what I'm talking about. Its sheer atrocity leaves one speechless. Filmed, edited, and set to music like a Hollywood blockbuster or a video game, it shows the 9 lions of the caliphate training on a rocky landscape, probably somewhere in Syria. They know that in a few months' time they will kill and die.
All right, so these guys are clearly the bad guys. So my question is, how does Hasan cover such a genocidal, violent, misogynistic, homophobic, terroristic organization?
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical? Sure. These were the people that the Saudis were killing, by the way, just so you know. These fucking musically gifted individuals.
Yeah.
Filmed, edited, and set to music like a Hollywood blockbuster or a video game. Or a musical. In addition to this, ISIS also killed gay men many of whom had left the Muslim faith because of the anti-gay sentiments that a lot of Muslim traditions traffic in, especially in more conservative areas of the world. So this is another article. This is specifically about inside look at ISIS's brutal persecution of gays. And they save the most gruesome executions for gay people, many of whom are not Muslim. They just are gay, and they have been turned in by family members or friends. For instance, this guy, a 26-year-old Syrian man, told the AP that even 2 years after fleeing to Turkey, he wakes up shaken by nightmares that he is about to be hurled from a building. Because that's what they liked to do. They liked to hang gay men, off of buildings and drop them head first, like hang them by their feet and then drop them head first. So this man says a childhood friend who became radicalized and joined ISIS betrayed him to the militants. He knew everything about me, such as being secular and gay, not Muslim. So what the fuck are we doing, Hasan? What is gained by lying about the scope with which ISIS kills people? Is it because they're indefensible? So they can't possibly be fighting for the Middle East? They have to be backed by the West? Because what they do can't be painted as if they're freedom fighters by you? Kate, I'm going to say this because I have to. Hasan and his community absolutely have a childlike view of the world and fail to understand mature subjects in the world around them. Yeah. %100% chance Emma Panda has ISIS videos on his hard drive. Yeah, I would agree with that. But like, again, you are dismissing the deaths, the torture of hundreds, thousands of people just to fit a narrative that nobody asked for. Like, this is the first time like this that I've seen anyone saying that ISIS is backed by Israel. And the fact that it's an Alex Jones talking point, like, what are we doing? Alex Jones, the man who has said aloud zillions of times to the point that he's been sued for $1 billion, that Sandy Hook was a psyop, was a false flag. If you have gotten to the point where Alex Jones talking points are coming out of your mouth in just such a throwaway manner, like, you got to reassess your life. Nothing about, and why is supporting ISIS in any way or sort of dismissing the severity of ISIS, rather, why is that required of you? Who is requiring that of you? I don't understand it. Like, instead of saying, yeah, some terrorists are really fucking bad and do horrible things and are trying to create a regime that is bad for most people, instead of saying that, because you can't legitimize what they do, because they aren't like fighting against one specific oppressor, the West, then you have to act like it's like an inside job? Kate, you don't understand. America bad and it's the only bad guy. Oh, and Israel. Like, I don't even understand the theory here. But I take extreme offense to him erasing the pain and the terror that ISIS has caused in the Middle East, specifically in Syria, and the horrible shit they've done there. And then elsewhere in the world. I genuinely don't understand. Like, I'm trying to like get my head around why he has to have this take. I mean, the shit ISIS did in Syria was disgusting. I mean, just like, yeah. Oh, this is, oh, of course, it's fucking paywalled. I mean, the starvation of the people in Syria around the same time as a result of ISIS. You have to blame that on Israel somehow? You have to blame that on the US somehow? Like, I will say, like, our government should take the blame for creating an environment that allowed ISIS to grow and exist, right? Because it came, I believe, after the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, right? In Iraq. But to say that everything they did was by design from Israel and America to kill Muslims, that ISIS is working for Israel and working for America, that's fucking psychotic. And who does it help? Who exactly does that help? It doesn't help the people in Gaza. It doesn't help the families of the dead that you've dismissed and erased. Oof, God. All right, here's one. Horrific images of stories of starving children have suddenly flooded the media as the reality of life in the town of Madaya in Syria, besieged by Syrian regime sources and Hezbollah, has surfaced. There's like tens of thousands, like the mass starvation in Syria. I remember it. There were like people eating. It was horrendous. They were talking about like cannibalism and stuff. People were so desperate. I don't know if that actually happened, but I remember people speculating about it. Images of starving children and emaciated bodies have sparked outrage, including in Britain, where the Liberal Democrat leader called for RAF airdrops of food. 40,000 people have been under siege by the Assad regime and its Hezbollah allies in Madaya. And then ISIS is also in there fucking killing people. Like, what are we doing? Why does supporting Gaza, the people of Gaza and Palestine, why does that necessitate diminishing the bad things that terrorists are doing? It's like this, they think it's like this zero-sum game. Hasan doesn't care about, hang on, let me scroll up. That's English Muffin here. Hasan doesn't care about helping people. He cares about people listening to him to make him feel important and making money, in my opinion. I agree with that. It's also weirdly racist in a way, like terrorists only listen to their white bosses because they're dumb. Right. Like, who are these? So in this theory, who are these members of ISIS that are happy to take money from Israel to kill their own people? Who are these people? Are they Iraqis? Are they crisis actors? It's like when Hasan kind of shrugged and dismissed the protests against Hamas in Gaza. And I saw people saying, like, those aren't real Gazans. Who the fuck are they? Who are they? I know these people are loud, but they are fucking wrong. They are wrong, and they are on the wrong side of this. Please remember that. When you feel insane, it's because they are saying crazy shit. You are not on the right side of history if you think just making up conspiracy theories that take away agency and blame from ISIS for the horrible things they did is the way out of this. He's just like completely like terrorist captured now. He has to defend every terrorist group. And the ones he can't defend, the one whose actions he can't defend, he just lies about them and says they're actually puppets of Israel? What are we doing? Like, I don't know how this is allowed. Every time I see Hasan, he's lying about something and making things worse and just exacerbating things and just doling out all this disinformation that is just pushing people who don't know better down this radicalization pipeline where terrorists do nothing wrong. And if they do, they're actually Israeli. Do not report Hasan to the FBI. We are not snarkers. Yes, good job, mods. Thank you. The fact that terrorism bad is enough to get on the shit list with them is crazy to me. Yeah, I don't. It's because they have no sense of gray area, right? It's all a zero-sum game to them. If you support the people of Gaza, you have to support Hamas. And if you support Hamas, that means you also support the Houthis, Hezbollah, and now ISIS. And if terrorists do something wrong or are protested against by people, then those protesters and also the terrorists are all actually just Israeli or American operatives. Or hear me out, there are a lot of extremist, racist people in this world, and when they get power, they do terrible things, including presidents of our country, the leaders in Israel, and fucking terrorists. And what do they all have in common? They're men. They're men. Men are the scourge. It's not the West, it's the men. It's men. It's always men. Rapes happened on October 7th on both sides because men rape every single fucking day, especially in war. Not all men, but somehow always a man. Exactly. So yeah, that just really pissed me off when I saw it on the show today because I have such visceral memories of an ISIS attack happening on a large group of people of mixed religions and ethnicities. So I guess Israel really dropped the ball. Feeling seen, not a good way. That's right. I don't have a tangent tonight. I don't have a lesbian tangent, and I need to go get ready to be in a movie tomorrow. It's awful. Oh, all right. Well, that's it. I will not be streaming tomorrow because it's Tuesday. But I will be back on Wednesday for the H3 after party, part 2 this week. Thank you so much, Aaron. I'm glad you guys had fun. I know it was kind of a bummer to end on. I'll try to find something fun to end on in the future. But yeah, this just pissed me off right before the show and I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, so if you are enjoying the show, feel free to make a clip and put it on Reddit or whatever you want to do with it. Put it on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you like. And yes, men do that to their fellow soldiers. And then the women get murdered for talking about it. Anyway, yes, share, please. Like I said, when I hit 10K, we will do a membership. And I have a lot of stories to put behind that paywall, as well as videos. Very incriminating videos that I can share with y'all. But have a wonderful evening. And yeah, if I don't randomly stream tomorrow night just out of nowhere, I'll see you Wednesday after the H3 show. Bye, everybody.